Hi everybody. Whoops. Hello everybody. In this lecture, we're going to talk about variable naming rules, alright? And we're going to learn about one more variable type, right? Different data type. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so these things we've been working on, mostly integers, right? They have certain rules, as we know. I mean, you can have like unsigned and signed, long, short, right? But another also important thing to consider is, for example, int uh, bottles, okay, equals 5. The thing is, remember how we have a function, right, called cout, which lets us output messages to our execution, to the console, pretty much. The word cout is a key word, meaning let's try something, right? Let's say we try naming this integer cout, okay? Oh, wow, that did not go as expected, but let's give it a try. Okay. As you can see, there is a problem, okay? Now, when we comment our code, right? Meaning this is invisible to the compiler. This is perfectly fine, right? Cout equals 5. But when we click run, when we uncomment the code, it gives us an error. Why? Well, we cannot name an integer cout. In fact, we can't name anything cout because this is a key word. When we call it, we're telling the compiler we're about to output a message, right? That's what you use cout for. But it has an equal sign and a 5 next to it, right? Cout has these two less than signs, right? But here it's just not there, right? We're we're trying to declare variable cout, but cout is also a keyword that's used for something else, right? And so that also means we cannot name an integer int. Yeah, that's not gonna work, unfortunately. It's a keyword. Or long. We cannot name an integer long because it's gonna be a problem. These are keywords, alright? But for example, let me give you an interesting example. If we comment this code, right, let's take out this include IOStream, okay? Remember, what does IOStream do? It gives us the functionality to input messages and output them. So it allows the user to, type something, blah, 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 okay? Now, if we have an int cout, actually that will not work. I had something else in mind, but that's not gonna work, alright? That's okay. Cout, and you pretty much get the point. Any keyword, like for example, if, right? It thinks we're trying to do an if statement, but obviously this is not gonna work out. Okay? So, generally your compiler will highlight the code in blue, as you can see, for, while, do, while, and you'll be able to know it's a keyword, right? Alright, there are another section, to determine of there's another section of words we cannot use, variable rules, right? There's another more rules for variables. You cannot start a variable name with a number, okay? So if we want to make it integer bottles, right? But let's make it 8 bottles. Okay, our variable is called 8 bottles and it equals 8. But we can't do that because, well, 8, it thinks it's expecting a letter, right? Like bottles, and pretty much don't, declare your variables with a vowel, okay? When making a variable, the name has to be clear and simple and concise, alright? So, int bottles, or bottle caps. As you can see, when I capitalize the first letter of every word, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Alright, this is called Pascal Case. Alright, the way we're naming this variable is called Pascal Case. There's also a camel case I'm not a big fan of, but it's lowercasing the first letter of the word and uppercasing the next. So bottle caps or head shot. You can either do with capital. You know, this is mostly if you're gonna work with another group of like a team of people. Generally, if you know your friend likes it a certain way, blah blah blah, but it's okay. So we'll name it bottle caps. Okay. I just like to keep it organized. Don't and as silly as it sounds, don't do something like this, you know, that's kind of weird. It looks very unusual, very yeah, don't do that, okay? It will work though. I mean, there's nothing wrong, but for memory, yeah. All right. We can also start a variable with a underscore. So that will work perfectly. Let's go ahead, give it, whoops. You know, it is unusual, right? But these underscores can make make it easy to spot the variable for you. Let's go ahead and run it. 8. So this is a valid variable name. All right? But remember how we couldn't use numbers in the beginning, right? Well, you can use them later in the code, right? You can make them, for example, star 50. Okay? This is a valid variable name, okay? Run. Ooh, it appears that there is a problem. Why? Well, we removed subraw. Let's name it star 50. Oh, the program is still running. Can you believe it? It appears that there is a problem. Oh, I'm not surprised. This is an online compiler. Let's go ahead and give it another try. 8. Okay, that's our answer. Yeah. But long story short, you'll figure it out yourself after coding a little bit. You'll realize what works for you, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Variable naming is also very important in C++. It makes a big role in your programming. Alright, let's go ahead take that, before we finish off, let's look at characters, alright? So, you know, it's pretty tempting to say char, like charcoal, but it's not. It stands for character. It's a good way to just, yeah, don't forget, it's character, okay? And we can name a character, let's say a name. Alright, or let's say letter. Okay, that's much better. Char letter equals, or character letter equals what? Let's name it G, capital G. Okay? And we're going to display the value of letter. Okay? Now, what's the problem here? Well, unfortunately, this is not a string, okay? If this was a string, what would happen? This would be just fine, G, right? But a character is completely different. It uses very different items, okay? So instead of quotation marks, you want to use the single quotation marks, okay? It looks like that. They're usually on the right side of the keyboard, like that, and then like that. It will display what? Capital G. But let's try doing guns, okay? I'm not gonna say whether I like it or not, but yeah, let's run it. S. Well, what's the problem? Well, yeah, that is the problem. Well, characters, as you can see here, are only meant for carrying one, you know, character. That's literally, it just holds one character. This can be, this can prove useful at some points in programming. I do use it, some pretty often. I have to, be honest. I have to be honest. I use this pretty often, character. But yeah, it will only hold one digit, technically speaking. We can also put numbers like 3. Okay, that will also work. But can we do something like this? Well, no, because it only holds information between the these little quotation marks, right? Not the double ones. Right, that's pretty cool. We learned something interesting. It also works for lowercase and uppercase and underscores. Let's try it out. So this can be used for pretty interesting scenarios in your code. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at long char. Okay. Will it work or will it not? Well, take a look. Does it work? No. These only work for integers. Okay. Long story short, that is what a char character is, alright? It holds the value of one item like Q or W, right? It will not hold this. If you want to hold multiple, what do? You convert it into a string. And for some reason on this website, a string is not highlighted, which makes it pretty difficult. Let's say James, right? Or sup, bro, is one of my favorites. It will display the entire thing, alright? And that's pretty much it. We learned about what characters. Characters only hold one digit of, it's like a string, a little bit less powerful as a string, but only holds one digit of value, right? And we also learned what? A better understanding of variable naming rules. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an awesome day. Thank you for watching.